Here at Cracker Barrel Old Country Store, we keep our routine so you can get out of yours.
But a new change to that nostalgic routine is stirring the pot.
My problem is that they changed the logo.
For over 50 years, Cracker Barrel has been serving up a slice of rustic country to suburbia.
Home-style cooking brings family together.
Between the rocking chairs, the old-timey gift shop, and those biscuits and gravy, Southern comfort has always been on the menu.
Or look around. Wow, look how bright it is.
A select number of stores undergoing a redesign for a more modern feel.
You got all new lighting, new seating, new tables and chairs.
This video is from a Tennessee location posted last August, just now going viral. While some are embracing the change,
the paint color is just so much lighter, and I think it's so much better.
Others argue the remodel chips away at that Southern charm.
But the inside remodel, Cracker Barrel for real, you're losing your feel.
While Cracker Barrel has said only about 30 of its 600-plus restaurants will get a full remodel, in a statement the chain says feedback from both guests and team members has been overwhelmingly positive, adding the strong performance of these locations affirms that we are moving in the right direction. In an interview last summer, Cracker Barrel's CEO telling CNBC the transformation is part of a multi-year brand refresh.
Our goal is to take what people love about Cracker Barrel and open the aperture a little bit so that more people love Cracker Barrel. So we want to appeal to all generations.
Cooking up a new look is all the rage. Denny's, Popeyes, Burger King, all getting modern makeovers. With sleek exteriors, brighter dining rooms, and high-tech features like these self-service kiosks in Burger King's newly remodeled Sizzle stores.
You don't want to eat somewhere where the carpet is from the 1980s. The look and feel of a restaurant, because the customers are spending money going there, is vital.
Across the country, restaurant chains have been struggling, with Hooters, TGI Fridays, and Red Lobster all filing for bankruptcy in the past year. A recent survey also found nearly 70% of consumers say they're eating at home more often.
We have all of our great decor here.
While Cracker Barrel tests a refreshed look, industry experts say it's a gamble catering to changing appetites without leaving a bad taste in the mouths of loyal customers.
I love to go somewhere where the food is good, but the atmosphere has to be good too, because I don't want to eat somewhere boring.
All right, I'm stopping right there. So I've been going through and everybody been talking about Cracker Barrel, right? So look, I've been to Cracker Barrel several times. Yeah, Cracker Barrel is good. I mean, the food's pretty good. I mean, I have really no complaints about Cracker Barrel. Yeah, I just think, everybody has to update their stuff eventually, right? And to me, there's nothing wrong with going in there and trying to update your look a little bit, freshen it up a little bit. There's nothing wrong with putting some new paint on the walls. There's nothing wrong with, cleaning it up a little bit and, maybe do something with the floors, freshen up the tables. To me, it's nothing wrong with that, Looking at them stores in the video, they still got the aesthetics. They still got the old-timey pictures. They still got the gun on the wall and all that stuff. They still got the same Cracker Barrel feel. You just updating, your rustic look, because rustic changes, right? If you say rustic back in like the 1800s, right, it might be, or the 1700s, it might be a guy with looking like Davy Crockett with a squirrel hat on or something like that. That may be the rustic look then. If you fast forward, let's just say to the 60s, right, the rustic look in the 60s was a guy with a leather jacket on, looking kind of like, and with some slick hair, looking like a biker or something like that a little bit, and driving a muscle car. That's the more rustic look for that time. The rustic look is always going to change a little bit. I mean, let's go to the 80s. The rustic look for the 80s was Burt Reynolds with the mustache and, driving a Ferrari, right? He was like the man's rustic man. That was the rustic look for the 80s. So the rustic look is always going to change a little bit with the time. And I don't see nothing wrong with Cracker Barrel wanting to update their stores a little bit, still keeping it rustic, but giving it update. My problem is that they changed the logo. Now, when you change your logo, that's rebranding, and you never want to rebrand very, very fast, right? you can rebrand, but you have to do it slow and slowly roll it out and do it undercover, right? It's almost like McDonald's, right? McDonald's rebranded several times, but most people don't know because McDonald's slowly rebrand. They'll roll out a couple stores, they'll put a couple new things in, they'll get rid of a couple things, and before you know, you like, Dad, you know, over the last years, McDonald's looked totally different, right? Just look at it, right? When I was a kid, McDonald's had the little playground thing, which all the kids used to play in the playground. It was the clowns. The clown was Ronald McDonald, Grimace, the Hamburglar. It was all those things was associated with McDonald's. Now you never see none of that stuff, right? And they didn't just turn it off one day. They just slowly phased it out and then slowly updated, right? Even the logo, the old McDonald's logo looked totally different, right? The old logo has a totally different font. You know, the arches look different. The whole thing looks different. But what you do is over time, you gradually change it. And I think her mistake was in this, that she just went all in and just changed it overnight, right? And you probably shouldn't do that. When you do stuff like that, it looks like a total rebrand and you're going to lose some customers. I was looking at their stock too. Like, I think their stock dropped by like 50%. So like they really are losing people because people think you're doing this whole woke thing now, right? So you have to be careful when you do that type of stuff, right? So to my thing is, you know, I think Cracker Barrel do good as long as they keep the food the same or make the food even better, right? If the food is the same and the service is good, and you know people still thinking they're getting a decent deal for what they're eating, I think they'll eventually do fine. But the thing was, man, you know, changing that logo, that's a big thing. And a little history too, right? A lot of times people hear the word Cracker Barrel and they really don't know what it means, right? So I did a little research on it. The Cracker Barrel was a place. The Cracker Barrel was an area where, you know, they literally had a barrel. They kept what they call soda crackers in there, and people will go in there. They'll get their soda crackers. They sit around, they talk, they chat, and they mix it up. That was the area where they used to do that at, right? That's where the whole Cracker Barrel thing comes from, right? It's basically people getting together just to talk trash and then talk and socialize. That's what it was, right? So as you go forward, you know, you want to take the man off the logo, take the barrel off, and I'm like, you don't gotta do all that, you know, because it's not really necessary. I mean, and I understand, like, some people might think it means something different, right? Because if you go back to slavery times, Cracker meant that, you know, he was the person with the whip hitting the black people, right? They used to call those crackers, right? And that's how we kind of got the racist term, you know, saying that white people, you know, cracker was like, you know, because it was the person who was cracking the whip. So you put that in your logo, you Cracker Barrel, I can see how some people might feel like, oh my God, it's a racist thing, but it's really not a racist thing. That's not what it means. That's not the history of it. And, you know, and it is what it is. So that's just my thoughts on it. You guys let me know what you think about it. Should they keep the new logo? Should they go back? I mean, how do you think the new CEO is doing? You think she's doing a good job? And how do you feel about it? Let me know. And I'd like to thank you guys again. Please subscribe, like, and I'll get on you next one. All right, take it easy.